to potentially repeat 23.1? If so, I think I've got some tips for you on getting into that top 10%. What's up? I'm Justin Ellis from CrossFit Willis, and we did a video previously, and I'll put the link in the bio or link in the description, but on what I think the top 10% might look like this year in relativity to 2014 and what we've seen with some of the scores. Now, whether that holds up or not, that's kind of what we're punching for, but obviously I think we're going to see somewhat of an increase. So just a quick overview, not so much how I got there, but what I think. Top 10% on average on a lot of those regions that I looked at in the other video is about 186 to 187. On average, we'll just call it around 186 and a half, but I think the number here is probably guys shooting for about 190 this year. Yeah, that's 10 muscle ups. And ladies were on average about 180, even 180 with a good tie break time of like 12:15 or so, 12:20. So I think this year, I really think this is going to look more like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 muscle ups for the ladies, top 10%. But anyway, let's get into piece by piece. And this is the thing, if you're going to have a chance to repeat on Monday, this is what this is. You've already done it, and maybe this will apply for you and help you get towards those numbers that we're talking about, or just improve your score, right? Maybe this is not a top 10% week for you, but as close to that bubble as we can get, it's going to help maybe getting that one workout that's going to be your jam. So we got the 60 calorie row, and just off the top, this is not the hardest part of the workout. Honestly, it's a good warm-up, but you can lose yourself here and kind of just get the ball out of control rolling downhill if we go too quickly here. And so I think legitimately, and remember, we're talking about top 10%, maybe fringe athletes here. Probably not athletes that have went to the been in the top 5% or so of quarterfinals every year and qualify for a lot of the stuff. So you're trying to fight on the outside looking in. I think guys are really shooting for about 3 minutes here, and ladies about 4 minutes, give or take, if this is a strength or weakness. Now, if you lose a couple seconds to that, you're 3:15, even up to 3:30 for men, maybe 4:15 for women. I don't think you've lost the pace just yet, but you want to be in that bubble for sure. If rowing's not your strength and you get off of there at 2:30, you may have went too quickly. Now, there are going to be some people that have some weaknesses later on in the workout, and 2:30 is not too hard to grab for this. Just consider that 3 minutes here for guys is not terrible, 4 minutes for girls, and I think we're on pace. What that looks like is about 1,100 to 1,300 calories per hour for guys. I think you can live there and be in this number. And then ladies can live in around that 800 to 900, maybe getting a little over 900 for a while will help push that number down just a little bit. Okay, moving on to toes to bar, and we got 50 here, and this is a big, daunting number to do in a row. It doesn't mean we've never, most of us CrossFitters have absolutely done more than 50 toes to bar in a workout. It's just broken up a little bit more. From my experience, and I've already done this one, and I've done it multiple times in the past, so drawing on that, and I should preface this, I got to the muscle ups with about 2 minutes, about 1:45. And it took me about 4 minutes to get through the toes to bar, and I did a handful of reps a couple times. But I'm not a great toes to bar person, and when they get pretty bad. I can always do a single, but I thought about going some sets, and honestly, from about 27 to 28 or something like that on, I pretty much did all singles with a couple doubles in there, some random doubles. I think my strategy moving forward here, because the toes to bar really hurt me on my muscle ups with that about 2 minutes that I had over there, and I failed reps, and I don't typically fail a whole lot of muscle ups. And I haven't trained a whole lot lately, but I'm more confident in muscle ups than I am in toes to bar. Not the volume necessarily, but the confidence. With that being said, I really, really want to try to keep my taxation down on the toes to bar, and I'm really thinking about going all singles here. That's going to look like about 13 per minute, maybe a minute with 12, a minute with 13. That gives us 4 minutes, and that can live there. That puts us at about 7 minutes now for the men, about 8 minutes for the women. If this is a strength for you, shoot for under 4 minutes. If it's a weakness, kind of like myself, really aim for that 4 minutes. And if it's a real big weakness, got to be under 5 here to give yourself a chance in other places. Wall balls, 40 reps. I'm not a fan of wall balls. I don't really hate wall balls, but this is absolutely the easiest part of this workout, and you are pretty happy to see it after all those toes to bar. So I'm shorter. I get to jumping at some point. I don't do big sets of wall balls. Automatic 10, pretty much any time, sure. With that being said, a lot of people can live with 4 sets of 10 here, but I think to help my cause to get a little over 2 minutes of time on the wall balls, or make up for a little bit of time maybe lost on the toes to bar, I'm going to try to make this in 3 sets. Now, we saw athletes go all 40 unbroken in the gym. We saw athletes go more of a 20-20. I am trying to monitor my heart rate, because if you've done this workout already, and that's probably why you're watching the video, you know the next part is maybe the most mentally grueling part of the workout. So anyway, a set of 15, a set of 13, and a set of 12 with a pretty small break, I think is very doable across the board. This puts us really under probably 2 minutes. I would say this might even put us closer to minute 45, and that's putting us now finishing the wall balls, guys, around 8:50, women somewhere around that 9:50 mark. Of course, now we move on to the cleans, and there's 30 of them. And that's probably one of the better things that I can do in CrossFit is move the barbell. I'm not afraid of it at all. It's been some time since I've done this workout. But mentally, you feel like you're going nowhere with this. And it's that explosive movement, if you're doing this right, that pumps the heart rate up every time you pick it up. Now, there's no touch and go here. I don't think it's necessary at all. I mean, if you're a fire breather, get after it, but is it sacrificing too much for the muscle up, especially if you're one of those that's trying to get a first muscle up? So theory here is it's singles, but you can't walk away from it. And that's what I told myself, but I kept getting focused on 5 at a time, and then I would step away for some time. The problem there is, are you monitoring your rest accurately? In the moment when you're tired, you want more. You want more rest. So I really think this is still singles, but I'm going to adjust my footwork as I need more rest. So early on, those first 10 reps or so, trying not to move my feet other than just getting myself to the bar if it bounces around. As I need more rest, taking the 1 step back, the 1 step forward method. That might last for a couple of reps. Now I need a little bit more rest. My heart rate's still not maintaining. It's a 1, then a 2, and then a 1, and then a 2 step forward to the bar. So now I'm picking spots on the ground essentially to increase my rest by, a second or 2 here or there, the deep breath, and then standing back up with it, or with the barbell. Either way, I was still able to get 3 minutes here with kind of an erratic, let's get 5 and then hands on the knees. Let's get 5, hands on the knees. I'd like to knock that down just a little bit to go along with, giving myself more time and putting myself about 11:50 to the rings. Ladies, this will be 12:50. 2 minutes of rest going into the muscle ups. I know I have muscle ups, but I was just taxed core wise. So if I go all singles toes to bar, I follow along with what I've already told you. Now I feel like I have a better chance. I get done those toes to bar in the same window, but I don't get these bigger sets that I did early on that might have taxed me a little more than just these over and over again singles on the toes to bar. Excuse me. With that being said, a little over 2 minutes, I'm going to take probably the first 20 to 30 seconds just to get my mind right, my heart rate back down, and then start attacking these. During the first time I did this, I took almost 45 seconds. I gave myself about a minute, thinking I was going to be able to go up there and do at least 3 right out the gate. And I noticed that first one was fairly difficult. I was a little low. I just didn't have the energy at that point, and my core was very slow on the turnover. So I was really lucky to still get 3 more attempts after that. 1, I was successful. 2, I was not. I believe with this method, giving myself a little more time, I will be able to get to that 5 to 6 to 7 range, which is still what I'm thinking a little bit outside that 10%, but closing the gap for future workouts in the future. Anyway, it depends on how efficient you are with muscle ups, obviously, and how much this might help you or not. But it's very possible just following that, knowing you can pretty much do single toes to bar. You can row at a very consistent pace, and you can go all singles with cleans and break up 3 sets in the wall balls and still have 2 minutes of opportunity. So if you're somebody that's not real sure about your muscle up, and I know the mentality is to sprint, sprint, sprint to get there, but how much of that energy are you depleting and your heart rate not coming back down to give you a chance to really think through your muscles? One muscle up. The tie break time is always fun to chase, but I never worry about the tie break because one rep is always going to beat that last group of people. So if you are at 180 right now with an awesome tie break, that's great. That puts you ahead of those people. But if you can replay it, slow it down by 2 minutes or a minute and a half or something, that allows you not to be as inflamed and taxed, and you get one muscle up, it was definitely all worth it, even though you move slower. So that would be my tips on the repeat for 23.1. If you're doing it on Monday, guys, let me know if any of this helps or any of it makes sense. Might not be your strategy. You might be somebody that got 10 muscle ups last time and you're looking to go more. Obviously, you're looking for time somewhere. Still could be a perspective change on something in that workout for you. So anyway, good luck, guys, on your repeats on Monday, and we'll see you on the leaderboard.